What's happening, everyone? There has been some massive news at Manchester United. Michael Carrick will be in charge for the game at Stamford Bridge, but after that, we're into Ralf Rangnick era. There is nobody better that I can have this conversation with and find out exactly how Manchester United fans are feeling about this move than the one and only Adam McCullough. Make sure that you check out Adam McCullough's channel. The link is in the description. But Adam, I'm assuming that you are now over the moon, right? This is a good appointment.
This is the best appointment Man United fans could have hoped for on an interim basis, in my opinion. Beyond getting Ten Hag now, or Zidane now, or Poch now, this was the best move that Man United could have made. Maybe even better than getting any of those managers now, because of the fact that bringing him in on an interim period means that he's going to be there for 2 further years, helping advise the board, making footballing decisions, hopefully, and kind of shaping the way Manchester United will be as a club. And when you see what he's done at Leipzig, at Salzburg, as a director of football, as also a manager, but mainly as a director of football, and what he did in his early years and his influences as a coach, I think it's an exciting time for Man United fans, especially United fans that have been crying out for a coach to be able to compete with the likes of Tuchel, Klopp. I mean, this guy influenced them. So if he can't compete with them, then nobody can. So I'm not saying we're going to win the league this season or we're going to be back in the mix for the league title, but I think we can look forward to a much better season than maybe we were fearing. And I think the future's also in safer hands as well with him being here. So I think it is a superb appointment and maybe the best decision the club have made since Fergie left.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a very intelligent appointment. And as you said, he is the inspiration and somebody that has helped to shape the careers of Nagelsmann, Tuchel, Klopp. So there is no doubt that he is up to this challenge. Do you like the idea that he's only here for 6 months to then move upstairs and allow somebody else to come in? Does that work for you?
That's the best thing for me. Look, I know he's had success in the lower divisions and Hoffenheim, bringing them up into the Bundesliga, and all those kind of things, and Schalke to the semi-finals of the Champions League. But I think his best work is as a director of football, is in that, position alongside the board, advising, helping, select a new manager and helping guide that new manager, helping in terms of transfers and those kind of things as well. I think that's his best position to be in. Obviously, his philosophy and his coaching and his thinking may still run through the club at that point. But I think that him being in that role, especially after we've had so long with the likes of Ed Woodward and the Glazers running around making these decisions, to then have him coming in, and I know it's only advisory, they've got to listen to him. John Murtough, who I think got a lot of stick from United fans, and I think rightly so at times, but making this appointment is a great move for him. So I think we can kind of look forward and think Fletcher, Murtough, Ralf Rangnick, a new manager in the shape of a Ten Hag or a Pochettino or someone. It looks like a club that means business a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a clever appointment. Do you think we can read anything into who is going to be announced as manager in the summer? But from the fact that they've gone for Ranić, there is suggestions at one point that Pochettino was the front runner, but then there were counter suggestions that if Pochettino's your front runner, you probably don't go for Ranić, and Ranić would lend himself perfectly to Eric Ten Hag in terms of the system and passing the baton on, its continuity. Do you think there's
I
anything
agree,
in that?
I agree with you that maybe he's more suited to Ten Hag, but I don't see there being or there potentially being a huge issue with a crossover to Poch if he was to be the next manager. They both like to press with a lot of intensity, high up the pitch. All those kind of things are similar. I know the game styles aren't identical, and I get what you're pointing at there. And Eric Ten Hag maybe goes in a little bit better, but with the recruitment side of things and what he can do with recruitment, I think that would work well with someone like Poch. I know Poch kind of is maybe leaving or thinking of leaving PSG because of his relationship with Leonardo. But that's because he has more sway than anybody. I don't think Ralf Rangnick would have the be all end all say, and I think a manager would still have some influence in that. So I think it would work with Poch. I think it would work with Ten Hag. I don't think it's that much of a difference to go over to Poch. Although I agree with, and I hear what a lot of people are saying, that this looks like they're going for Ten Hag then because of the similarities, but it still could be either.
Can I tell you my nightmare situation? Like my actual nightmare. I'm gonna like turn this video into a little bit of a therapy session for myself. Manchester United are the club that I've grown up with, that have always been the established, dominant super club of the country. Manchester United have 3 European Cups. My club, that were always playing catch up, always second best to Manchester United, whatever happened. As we discussed on Stretford Paddock recently, I told you about a day when I went to Stamford Bridge on a Boxing Day. Chelsea did really well, got back to 2-2, and bang, Brian McClare scores. Manchester United just that bit better.
Gotcha.
However, Chelsea have been knocking on the door. Chelsea are climbing up, and now Manchester United, that super club, have 3 European Cups. Chelsea have 2. My dream is that we equalise, but my nightmare is that Manchester United do with Rangnick what Chelsea did last year. What are the aspirations for Manchester United this season now?
That dressing room has to be thinking about winning a trophy. And if you're thinking about winning a trophy, and I know it's funny, you could probably look at some of our performances over recent weeks and go, are you taking it? What are you talking about? Do you know what I mean? What are you going on about? But the only trophies we can win are the FA Cup and the Champions League. So we have to target them. We're into the last 16 of the Champions League. We have to target that. Do I think we're going to definitely win it? No. It's too difficult to say that. But we're much more of a threat now. And when you look at the likes of Champions League, Varane, Cristiano Ronaldo, like you mentioned, as we said on that paddock, uncensored, David De Gea in between the sticks in the form that he's in. You could get a team that could compete. He got Schalke to the semi-finals, so it wouldn't be a stretch to see you could get United to a final, and anything can happen. We're getting PSG though, I'm just certain we get
PSG next.
We get Poch in this. Along the way somewhere we're playing Poch.
You aren't
probably knocks us out next round.
I don't think you'd be too scared of PSG though.
No, not with I don't think he's ever had that dressing room Poch. And it's why I still fancy him for United, because I don't really judge him off the PSG stuff. They ain't doing what he wants them to do. And some could argue, well, he's the manager, he has to get control. But I think PSG are a different case, man. The relationships those players have with the owners and stuff isn't great. And if you watched that the other day, they were playing a Man City side and they had 3 passengers. You can't do that. You just can't do that.
Do you know what, Ad? Just to take this and start, just to ask something now, and it's been triggered by your backdrop there. I can see the green and gold, right? Manchester United fans, incorrectly in my opinion, but they're sometimes lambasted because people say that the protests only come when things are good. Manchester United...
Things are bad.
Sorry, forgive me.
That's what they say.
They only come when things are bad, which isn't true. I know it isn't true. I know factually that is incorrect, but it's something that we throw at people. But I might as well now bring it up to give you sort of an opportunity. The board have done well here. Appointing Rangnick is a decisive, intelligent action, I believe.
Yeah,
they did fairly well in the summer with the transfer acquisitions, fairly well. Where do you sit on the debate around the board now? Do these kind of decisions dissipate your hostility to Glazer, or is it as we were?
My hostilities will always be there to the Glazers. And when good football decisions are made, well, Manchester United, we should be making good. This should be a regular occurrence. The fact that you're shocked, I'm shocked, all Man United fans are shocked that we're making a decision that makes sense is crazy. Now, you could argue that look, some of the things that Ole put in place has built the foundations. He's made the manager's room a little bit closer to the boardroom, and he's made relationships there with the likes of Murto, Fletcher, etc. that will help. But United should have been making sensible footballing decisions for a long time, and beyond the football decisions, even if they made every football decision right, they're still sucking out 1 point however many billion and counting, and we're still going. So I think the hostility will always be there towards the Glazers. And like you rightly said, we've been protesting against these guys for a long time. 2005, 2009, 10, 11. We were in Champions League finals and stuff then. It was a Champions League. It was against AC Milan when Beckham did the thing. I think it was a Champions League quarter or semi-final or something. Like we've been doing it when we've been successful. So yeah, it's something that will always be there for as long as the Glazers are there. I think because there's a resentment for what they've done to the club.
Yeah. Mate, I find it all fascinating. Thank you so much for joining me on this, Ad.
No worries, bro.
Make sure, to everybody watching, make sure that you subscribe to Adam McCullough's channel. The link is in the description below. He and I also have a podcast together, the McCullough and Rory Show, so make sure that you check that out as well. And Ad, I suppose, as a dear friend, our friendship is going to be suspended for 90 minutes on Sunday. Before I let you go, can I push you for a prediction? Chelsea versus Manchester United in the Premier League. Carrick versus Champions League winner Tuchel.
Carrick's at the wheel. I'm gonna go for. I'll say use a prediction. I use like Paddock. I think it's gonna be 1-1. I think we'll get the first goal. We'll get all excited. We'll sit on it and then we'll concede.
There we go. Thank you so much, Adam. Really find that interesting. See you all in a bit.
Nice one, bro. See you later.